I'm gonna set up outside actually. I didn't have I need to get a couple more things. Hopefully, when my lady comes back, I'll have some more equipment to be able to make this more fantastical. I'm serious about the cigar shop, by the way. There's no fucking cigar shop here. I mean, there's one that just opened, and I went into it for like 5 seconds, and I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. You gotta be kidding me. This is what you got in here? 20-year-old Fuentes? Okay. Crumbling apart. Like, that's definitely not what I want. Well, hopefully these Zoom meetings don't have a time limit. Maybe it's time for one of the worst jokes ever made. It's all about green marbles. It's actually quite cold here today.
Hey guys, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. We're working on it right now.
Which is like freezing here for me. 78 degrees is fucking cold as hell. Well, I guess that technically is a misnomer. Hell's not supposed to be cold, but
close that out and open it back up.
What? OBS?
Yeah, because I'm not getting anything on there anymore. That's the one for the
Back.
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, because it should be that one.
Yeah, you're straight up now.
There you go.
Is he vertical now?
He's vertical now, yeah.
Is that better?
You just can't hear him in your headphones?
I can't hear him on my headphones. I can.
I'll move it once we start the podcast. I'll move it over to this location, but now this way I can see you typing at least. Ba-dum-bum. Ba-ba-dum-bum. Ba-da-da-da.
We can't split screen him, right?
Ba-da-da-da.
With who?
So he's not.
I'm really looking forward to this set tonight. It's going to be fun. It's the first time I actually had a proper gig. What?
It took us a little while to get Christian going.
Okay.
That is true.
Christian's in the chat right now. We did this with him for a whiskey review. Anyway, hey, what are you guys smoking? That's not a Padron 26.
Hey, good job, Kevin.
Oh my God.
I
I'd like
almost
to
showed
start
my
this
talent.
Almost.
with a little plug for our possible sponsor, Gansberg. This is German-made beer, but made locally. German brewmaster.
How is it?
And it's a lager, and it's
not German-made beer. It's Cambodian beer made by a German.
That's correct.
In a German style.
And I literally just won $1 from opening the can.
Oh, cool.
You can win like $20,000. The most I've ever won is $50. I won $50 off of one beer. Good stuff. Way better than Bud Light, that's for sure. Fuck you, Bud Light. But I do like Shane Gillis.
I mean, it's just not even fair to make fun of Bud Light at this point. Like, it's just they're like low-hanging fruit.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they fucked that up so bad.
But they saved it with Shane Gillis, man. They brought in Shane Gillis, and that basically just turned it righted the whole ship. You know, what a disastrous idea that was, though.
Is what
the
better?
Same with the Jaguar, the new Jaguar ads and shit. It's just like what?
I would, dude. Like, marketing is such a lost fucking art.
And yeah, I think that it is in a lot of ways. I'm lucky that I do marketing out here, and it's still
That's right
in
there.
a place where people are sane.
Yeah. Dude, Casey and I were joking because it's Christmas commercial time, right?
Oh, Okay. Do we do Christmas Carol?
No, God no.
I don't order in here.
Do you remember? Sing it in Cambodian.
I don't sing, Cameron. I sing in the car by myself. That's it. Because otherwise, I injure people.
All right. So what's going to happen is we're going to shove a camera in there one day and just let it record.
That's a great idea. I like that. I'm with you on that one, man.
Right? Just say nothing. Just have it live streamed. Don't tell them.
No. So the story was going somewhere.
Satan alone in cars.
Yeah, right. No, because they still play. The commercial's got to be 25 years old now.
Yeah.
They still play the Corona commercial with the beach house, and then the one palm tree lights up with Christmas lights. Nothing else happens, and they're just playing a tune.
Man, is that not the greatest marketing ever, though? If it's still lasting for that long,
it might be one of the best Christmas commercials of all time, and nothing happens. A tree lights up on the beach, probably not in Mexico, but in your head, it's in Mexico. Like
definitely in Mexico.
Mexico, West Palm Beach.
It probably is in Playa del Tijuana or something.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have gone far into Mexico, but they'd go far enough, I guess. But so what are you guys smoking on today?
I am smoking a Padron 1926 Anniversario Maduro #1.
Look who's fancy. Ooh.
Oh, way to show off.
Right?
Guy that owns a cigar shop. Look at me. I can smoke whatever I want.
I mean, it's not my fault that customs would take whatever I shipped you.
That is very, very true. And I know you would ship me some good stuff. So.
Oh yeah, I totally would. I would just, I would put in a little note that says, "This was for Cameron Bowman. However, please enjoy his cigars."
Knowing that would never make it.
Dude, they seized an entire $300 iHerb shipment from my girlfriend.
Really?
And they told us that the only way we could get it was to go to Phnom Penh, which is basically from Tahoe to San Luis Obispo.
Oh God.
And go down there, and then we would have to go into customs and meet with customs and explain to them why we had these.
Yeah, that's a trap.
And we're like, no. So we ended up, and then DHL literally told us in an email to go fuck ourselves, and they didn't say go fuck yourself, but basically they did. They were super rude. So we took it, and iHerb did the same thing, and then we put it all together, and then we ended up winning a case and got the money back.
Well, at least got the money back.
That took 8 months, dude, of fucking nonsense, all over a bunch of fucking vitamin C, you know what I mean?
I think my favorite customer service over the phone story ever is Scott threatening to put 1-800-Flowers in the basement with 1-star reviews.
So, what's really funny about that is 1-800-Flowers is now owned by a guy that I know.
Really?
Yeah, his name's Mark. And he lives in Thailand. He took over 1-800-Flowers. I remember that too, because he didn't get the flowers on time for Lenore or whatever.
Yeah, flowers and chocolates or something.
Dude, Scott is one of the most ridiculous human beings you will ever meet in your fucking life, dude. If anybody out there that's seeing this gets the chance to meet Scott McDonald, you should just do it. Just fucking talk to him.
Dude, I do not envy anyone who has Scott pointed in their direction in a negative way.
Oh, dude, no way. I was very lucky that I was always on his good side.
I was not always on his good side, but he never came at me. I don't know what that was.
Well, he liked you because and it was the same thing with me as he liked me because he saw he did not like another. I'm not going to name the person, but he did not like the other person that was involved with the hostel that you and I used to own.
Yeah.
He did not like that person, and that person was immediately wiped out and gone within minutes. It was that guy. I went, dude. I tell you, I went to go see him in Belize.
Scott?
Yeah, I went there. I was going to sneak attack him in Belize, and I missed him by a day.
Wait, side note. I saw an original style Mini going up the road, and I could have sworn it was the other guy driving it 2 months ago.
Really?
Yes.
The other guy?
Yep.
A Mini?
Yeah, because he always wanted a Mini. He was always the small hot hatch guy, which didn't make any sense because he wasn't cool enough to drive that car, and he was also my size.
So
Like,
Like, dude, I
in
remember
a
when we
very
first-
non-built, like I sit in a chair for a living kind of way, but my height and weight generally.
What's wrong with the golf?
Oh, dude, he was definitely. I mean, for what it's worth, he was a really good photographer when we first met him for photography back in the day. Which I can't believe that footage still exists. It's only because my buddy Clayton Duncan saved it.
Yeah. No,
It came within an inch of being gone forever. Like all that work that we put in.
I want to see that. Hey, what are you guys smoking? You guys never got around to it because I was bragging about my Padron.
Should have licked it.
should have.
Should have licked it.
It's my germs.
Yeah.
Right in front of
Yes,
them.
you should have stuck it in the pussy and then licked it.
You
Oh wait,
can't
am I allowed to say that?
You
kind of
can't
shit on
get
this
cigars.
Not
I mean,
really.
we're not monetized, so
But,
it doesn't matter. But one day, not so much.
Yeah, you're good, Mr. President. It's fine.
You
can edit
can't
that
get
out.
cigars there, really, can you? So you can't smoke cigars with us.
No, there's not really. It's kind of impossible.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
good whiskey
I mean-
for that matter.
It's sad they don't make their
No,
own.
good whiskey I can get. That is available for sure.
Like what?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not talking like Booker's or Baker's or anything like that, but like
Stag.
Bullet and
We said good
Wild
whiskey.
Turkey.
Oh, dude, have you ever come across the Wild Turkey 12-year purple label?
One
Turkey.
time I did, and I'm trying to remember where now. I
Because
think,
that's a Southeast Asia and Japan release. If you ever see it, buy it. That's
I did.
phenomenal.
I think I was when I was in Thailand,
Yeah.
and I was doing a nefarious activity, and the person that I was doing that for
You?
happened to
Never.
have one of those bottles and gave me a shot of that, and I took it neat,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and it was delicious.
Dude, the good Wild Turkey.
I actually almost never drink. So see, but this means akun, which means thank you. And this, by the way, is our second sponsor possible of the day.
Casey,
Okay.
we're running out of time.
Cambodia beer.
Running out of time.
Already?
Yeah.
We should have like 90 minutes. What's it
Wait,
say?
so
It's
we have to do this
running out of
again?
time.
Oh, okay.
Upgrade to Zoom Workplace Pro.
Yeah, we've got like 30 minutes in. Should.
All right.
That's all right.
We'll figure out-
Always,
What's that?
that's all right. You can always just boot me off and continue.
Yeah, but we got to find some way to get you on here for the whole show.
Yeah, well, that's why I was saying Google Hangouts would probably be better to use because it doesn't have a time limit. Zoom does.
Yeah, we just got to figure it out first. Because,
Yeah.
I'll play with it.
yeah.
Okay. We'll set that up next week, Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no
we'll
worries.
figure out the orientation on your camera too. Dude, this
Yeah, that's going to be useful. That's for sure.
double right. Well, I want them to be able to see what's around you. Like your head's going to stay the same size, but like you'll get a bunch of, the atmosphere on the sides of you.
Ooh,
What?
nothing.
Okay.
It was him going
Ooh.
face first into the camera.
Oh. Dude, this High West double rye, I always like it until I drink something else, and then I realize that it drinks super young.
Right. So,
Which one's which?
going back, Casey never answered, but I'll answer. I am smoking the Punch Dad's Home Movies.
Dad's Home Movies. Dude, can you believe, Cameron, there's a cigar called Dad's Home Movies?
No. So what the fuck is this? It's from Punch?
It's from
I know
Punch. It's the one Punch I like.
It
Yeah,
reminds
that's
him
not-
of old school cigars.
It is honestly, the first time I smoked it, it was like I was smoking a cigar when I was 16 years old again. Like it's an old school blend.
It's
It's like
nostalgic.
it's like smoking a black and mild.
No. It has well
You're
because
gonna be like Cam Patterson up in here, fucking smoking black. Do you guys watch Kill Tony or no?
Mm-mm.
Holy shit, dude! You guys have to watch Kill Tony. It's the #1 podcast in the world, mate, and it's also hilarious. Super funny.
So for the
Cam
record,
Patterson's a black comedian, and they always give him shit about his black and mild habit when he's on stage.
no. I smoked good cigars as a kid somehow, but it tastes like blends from the late '90s and early 2000s. It's good. It's really
a bit
good.
boring,
What's that?
but good. A bit boring, but good.
No. I would say a bit rough. It's not as smooth as the modern blends, but it's got a big flavor profile to it. Fair amount of pepper in it. It's good.
I'm trying to remember how many fucking cigars you and I have smoked together back in the day when I was running the movie theaters and we were trading movie tickets for cigars.
Quite a few.
I probably shouldn't even admit that actually. on
That's
camera.
where my VSG habit started.
Listen, it's been over 7 years. I'm pretty sure you're good.
Yeah, I better be because I definitely tried. Dude, I smoked. I smoked so many amazing cigars. I can't even remember. It's been so long. You know, I ended up in Thailand, which doesn't have shit for cigars. Thailand, by the way, I'm going to say this out loud. I hope that everybody hears it. Thailand sucks. Fuck Thailand.
I could
Don't
have
even
sworn
waste
you
your
loved
time.
that place.
You would?
I could have sworn you loved that place.
It did.
Yeah,
Thailand
well,
did
I mean,
Cameron
yeah.
dirty.
Yeah, it didn't end. It didn't end the way it should have. The way it began. We'll put it that way.
Hang on. He did Thailand dirty. Let's be fair here.
I mean, it was probably both.
All right, mutual devastation on both ends.
Well, so what happened was essentially, okay, I can tell you where it all started. Was when the old king, Pumipum, when he passed away, which is the reason I invested in that country. It was a really good climate for doing business as a Western person. And then when he passed away, dude, shit went haywire. And it was like, it didn't matter that I had all my business licenses. None of that stuff mattered. It was this constant barrage of different people showing up saying, you have to pay me money. And I'm like, how many government departments are there? 50?
As many as they want.
That it is create departments and send a new person over there to get the money from you. They're like, oh, I said I was the big boss, but now I'm not the big boss anymore. So now you got to pay this guy. And so all of a sudden you're turning around and you're like, wow, that was like $38,000 this month.
Paying everybody.
Huh. And then they still show up and shut you down. They still show up and they fuck with you all the time. It's ridiculous. But again, you know, there's just for the audience out there, there are places that are as beautiful and much more fun than Thailand. And now, Thailand before, when I first went to Thailand, amazing place, dude. Absolutely fantastic. But Thailand now is like, dude, I can't tell you how many people have moved from Thailand to Cambodia just because they just can't stand it anymore. They hate the place.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it. That happens, right? Like, you know.
Everyone's changed. I mean, people hate fucking America right now.
Well, yeah, but we're easy to hate. We're getting a little squirrely.
No.
Never.
Okay, so gentlemen, let's talk about that then. so
I mean, we're not as squirrely as we could have been if somebody else got elected.
who's that somebody else?
If Harris made it, that would have been a show.
Dude, all right. I was talking to Casey about this the other day. So I think I finally figured out like the heart of my Harris problem, right? Because I've tried to walk through this, you know, because I watch a bunch of political content and, you know, I'm interested in the country. So there's been a lot of like, well, she was this, you know, at one point I was like, well, I'm more comfortable fixing what he's going to break than what she's going to break. Because to be clear, I think Trump is a clown. Like,
but he's good at it.
He's good at being a clown, yes. But I just think he's a buffoon. But here's my problem with Harris, right? I am really fucking tired of people failing up. Like, she has been a disaster in every job she's had. Like, she is one of those people whose only competence is being able to stay in the room. Like, she has no scholarship, she has no record, she's never had an opinion of any kind other than what, like, the population told her to have. So she never, like, strayed. She never led anything, right? She just was vanilla enough that they kept promoting her, and somehow she ended up, you know, VP, one of the worst VPs ever by most accounts, and then we're going to elect her president. Like, I'm so tired of people failing up by being cowards.
Somehow she also became black and Indian at the same time. But during that period. And it would just depend on the day. But you know, what's interesting about Kamala is my family has been directly affected by her when she was the Attorney General of the state of California.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously we're not going to mention names of who and why, but definitely somebody that didn't deserve to be in county jail for an extra 3 months just because they needed to labor for put out fires, you know, and didn't even get his arraignment. It was, dude. She was ruthless, and it was on a marijuana charge in California.
Oh yeah, she massively over prosecuted marijuana,
It was
especially
just
for people with no
ridiculous,
money.
mate. It was just so fucking sad. Like, and it directly affected my family. So when people were asking me, because people ask me all the time because they think I'm like some vehement Trump supporter. I mean, personally, I'm just a libertarian. I don't really. I'm kind of like, I have my lawn, you have your lawn. If I invite you onto my lawn, you can come on my lawn. You know, if you want me to come on your lawn, I'll come on your lawn. Get the joke?
Yes.
But
No. Like, I'm not even a libertarian. I'm not a moderate. I'm very passionate about certain things, and everywhere else I'm a pragmatist. But I have no problem challenging popular opinion. And the people that we're promoting, both in the corporate world and in politics, are people like Harris, who have no ability to challenge the popular opinion. They have no inspiration. They can't sit in a room and say, I know everyone wants to do this, but it's a bad idea because we should be doing this. Like, she's going to go with whatever's popular, whatever's got the most money behind it. Like, she's just a fucking cookie cutter. Like, it's awful. And I'm just tired of rewarding people for being boring.
We've seen cookie cutters before, dude. We've seen cookie cutters before. She's worse than a cookie cutter. She's like a fucking robot. I don't know, man. And I feel, it's like one of the things I can say about the Biden administration is, holy shit, whatever medications they were able to get that guy on is a medical miracle for him to even be able to fucking finish the sentence. So
he's a Disney animatronic. He's on medication.
He did deteriorate fast.
But then they kept weakening and burning him,
You just
kept propping him up.
CGI him in and voice over it. You got it.
That was a dude in a green suit.
It was like fucking Andy Serkis running around. Instead of being Golem, he's being...
You'd have to CGI the audience, too, at that point. You'd have to.
No one claims they were there.
I mean, he did campaign from his basement in 20.
Yeah.
It's just kooky. Like, honestly, it's...
Bad news, guys.
Oh, did we lose him?
Yep.
Oh.
How did that... I thought we had more time than that.
I thought we did, too. I don't know what happened.
Do we want to try something else, or...
I mean, you can. You got the web browsers up on that thingamajig, right?
He just fucking hit me up on my phone.
Oh.
I love that whole thing that you just said.
That little screen, it's got a web browser, right? Or did it go away?
I have it went away. It's not on the thing anymore.
Okay.
That window's open, the Zoom meeting window.
Okay, I can try.
Do you want to try Google Hangouts for about 3 minutes?
I can try.
Okay.
Let me get over there and give me a second.
Hold on, I'll tell a story. Yeah. I'll tell a couple of stories.
Yeah.
Oh, Cameron stories, he can hear them.
No Cameron stories. So, twice. All right. You know this, right? So there's a highway that I have to merge with coming back from work.
Yes.
Trying to figure out how to tell this story in an illustrative way for people that don't know what I'm talking about. What's that?
Colorful metaphors.
Yes. So there's a section where you have to merge onto a highway from an ending highway, like the highway stops. So it's 267 into 50. And when I come home from work, I come on like 267 ends, and you have to either turn right or left on 50. And if you turn right, it's a merge. Well, it's not a merge, it's actually a yield, but it might be a merge. Doesn't matter. So in a merge situation, the person on the highway that isn't ending, in this case, Highway 50, can we safely say they have one job?
Yes.
Their job is to maintain speed and distance if there's other traffic.
Yes.
Only thing they have to do.
Or scoot the fuck over.
2 nights in a row. Coming back from work, I get it's a long merge, so you've got some time to pick up speed. I'm at speed, and now I'm looking over and like gauging traffic. There's someone that I think I'm going to come out even with, so I start to slow down, right? And I'm slowing down, but my position relative to their position isn't changing. So I'm braking more and more and more because the fucking assholes are also braking in the middle of a fucking highway.
There's nobody else on the highway,
No,
right?
only car out there. So when I finally get out behind them, I'm like going 15 because they've hit the brakes down to like 18. Dude, I do not understand. Like, how do these people get licenses? They're such bad fucking drivers. They're just awful.
Well, I mean, all you have to do is pass that test. Our test is relatively easy.
You know what though? I also have the same problem with people in Nevada generally. Maybe not Reno so much. Definitely not Vegas. Rural Nevada, you're the second car up to a 4-way stop and they like flag you through. I just sit there. I'm like, you were there first. Your turn.
Just go.
I'm just gonna hang out.
Yeah.
And then they get mad because you didn't go. You're like, you know what would make this really efficient? If we would all just follow the rules that were designed to make it efficient. Yeah.
You want to try and send that to him?
What am I sending to him?
Emailed you the invite link.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yeah. So the motorcycle license, to get that, if you haven't taken a class, they don't if you take the class, they waive it. If you don't take the class, you have to take their test, and most of them don't know how to put that test on. So most of the time, you'll fail that test
Yes.
because you didn't do it the way they thought it should be done.
What did you got into that folder that I shared with you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I sent you another one because I was trying to get in with my cigar email.
Oh, you want me to approve it?
Yeah.
Done.
That one's easier for me to.
Yeah,
link
no
to the other
worries.
one.
I just picked the one that came up when you typed in your name.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, I don't. Also, backing in. Dude, if you can't hit the fucking parking spot, don't back in. Just stop.
Yeah, I don't
Let it
understand
go.
how people can't back up.
We have, where I work, there's a section with, you have parking passes, and I guess at some point, some years ago, you had to back into that section if you had a parking pass for whatever reason, so they could see your pass. But now the passes, they just hit with a gun, so they took that requirement off the pass. But everyone still backs in. Fine. Except they can't back into their parking space. So they end up taking up multiple, like 2 spaces, and then the next person does, the next person does, the next person does. So you end up losing like 30% of the parking spaces because these people can't park their car.
Sorry, Christian. We because everybody's talking, it's hard to chime in and actually get it going. I can read your stuff. He said it was filmed in the Florida Keys. That one you're talking about, that Christmas jingle. He said the model they have on Tony Kill Tony, Heidi, is absolute smoke show, and it was Harris driving just to annoy you.
Fuck, could be.
And Cameron said Cambodia is amazing for road laws.
Like the lack of road laws?
I'm guessing that's probably what it is, because if I remember right, didn't they do an episode on Grand Tour where everybody was on like a little moped going?
No, that was Vietnam.
Yeah, I feel like it was similar.
I'm just going to tell Christian to, if he can't get in, to just text me.
He was chiming in on the chat over here too, as well.
Yeah. I told him to text me if you guys are ignoring him. Because,
all
reasons.
the time. Christian texted me too.
Dude, this kosher rye is destroying the double rye. It's sweeter, it's rounder.
Is it? I haven't tried the second one yet. I had the first one. I haven't tried the third one either. Did you move on
It's
yet?
got like a gingerbread note in there. It's really good. It's like a honey ginger, like a graham cracker almost. Like honey grams. It's just so much better than one. And I think right now they're like $45 to $50. They're not even marked up most places.
Oh, wow.
It's good.
And it's 94 proof.
Yeah, I like this a lot. For an easy drinking rye.
Yeah, you don't find too many of those.
Yeah.
Especially with the flavor profile that it has.
It's like a very toned down. It's definitely a whiskey rye. Like I can't imagine it's 95.5. I don't know what Buffalo Trace's mash bill is. They've never admitted to what it is, but it's
Fair.
good. And then the Frey Ranch. What proof is this? 126 or something?
For the Frey, 130.28. So it's up there.
I have the same. I like their rye better than everything else, but they are so grain forward in everything they do.
Have I brought this up before?
I don't know.
This one. I wasn't sure if I drank part of it or if I brought it up.
They're just so proud of their grains. They're like, we don't need oak, we have grain. And you're like, wow, but it'd be good if you had like a little bit of oak would be okay. Yeah.
So my youngest called me out
For drinking?
Yeah, because I grabbed 2 bottles to bring up here, and I got called an alcoholic. I'm like, I'm not an alcoholic. We're doing a review.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I haven't even. I drank yesterday. I had 1 drink yesterday. Out of the whole week, I haven't touched any alcohol until yesterday because I've been busy working and trying to complete some leather projects. But he called me out. I'm like, that hurts. I'm like, I hope you stay sick.
That's just mean.
I know. He was mean first.
We got to build Christian his little care package.
Oh yeah, we got to send his hat and.
Yeah.
Did we already send a coin?
He does have a coin.
What are you drinking, Christian? Anything good? What are you smoking? Oh, the Whistle Pig 12 and 10. Small batch rye. Tasting set tonight. Nice. What are you smoking with it? If you are smoking.
I don't think he smokes when he's drinking very often.
No, I thought he smoked mainly when he watched the podcast, at least. That way he felt part of it.
Dude, that Frey Ranch rye. I mean, if you really like rye, it's phenomenal. Like, if you're a 95.5 person, it's good. But it's so close to being great, and they just won't walk it over the line.
Has he tried to make it in yet?
Cameron, he said he's working on it.
Okay.
He just texted me.
Ooh, that is heavy spice.
Right? That's what I'm saying. It is extremely grain forward.
Let's see, Christian is having an older Cohiba that I got from the Dominican Republic about 4 years ago. So it has some nice age.
That's probably good. I'm telling you, it's the kosher rye. This is the winner of the bunch.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be this one, but it ended up being the kosher.
It's half the price and change of the Frey. Those Frey barrel picks are $120.
Yeah, I think that's what I paid for this. $119 is what it was. After tax and all that.
Dude, these kosher ryes for $50 are phenomenal.
I'm wishing I can go back there and they do a new barrel release every month for like the out there, and it usually sells out quickly.
I've never made it out there, ever.
We went there once. I enjoyed it. It was nice.
It's supposed to be great. I've just never made it out there.
They have 2 different stills, that tower column still, and then they have a pot still right next to it, and they put most of it through the column still, and then dump a little bit from the column.
Yeah, they have a hybrid still. It's the only one like it in the world right now.
Yeah,
they had it custom built. I'm seeing a screen like he's in theory close.
Yeah, in theory, it's showing that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Anyway.
Did he need anything else from us? Fair.
So, what are we going to have to fix when Trump's out of office? I think he's going to do some good stuff, but he's also going to do some clowny stuff.
Well, I mean, it's his last 4 years. He doesn't have to try and get reelected, so he's going to try and make this is usually the second term is usually where they make the biggest changes, right? Because they don't have to worry about getting reelected.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. You still have to convince Congress to work with you.
Isn't Congress mostly Republican right now?
Yes, but there's also this, especially in the House of Representatives, there's this little group called the Freedom Caucus, which likes to just be a pain in the ass. So,
see, I'm trying to read Christian's last message. It says, tell him to try both his blank Hangouts app and the native Chrome browser. Oh, yeah. It's under Google Meets.
Whoa.
Hey, what's that? Are you still there? Yes, we're still here. Where is it? Just waiting.
Was that in the chat? What Christian said?
Yeah. If he's still watching the video, he could see it in the chat, but I don't know if he is.
I'll text him that.
But he should probably try the browser, if anything. Where?
I just texted to him.
Oh.
So you're working. So you probably get Christmas morning.
Yeah. So I'm off tonight, tomorrow, and then Christmas morning. Christian says if you want to keep majorities in both houses, he can't go totally off the rails. I have a feeling we're going to have to repair some of these tariff trades situations.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. I'm a little bit worried about. I'm not worried about the tax breaks. I am worried about antitrust. I would have liked it. I liked what one of the few things I liked what Biden was doing. I liked what they were doing with antitrust. I just think we need to be stricter on antitrust. I mean, we have one of the loosest set of antitrust laws in the world.
Explain antitrust.
Monopolies.
Got it. Okay.
So right now, you have to control, and I mean like strictly construed, control 85 to 90% of the market for antitrust, and it's just an antiquated way to look at antitrust. You can control a market with 70 to 75% of the market.
And that's pretty much what our market is right now, isn't it? 75% of it's owned by one company.
Yeah. I mean, if we used the EU version of antitrust, which is about 75% control for most things, we'd have a lot more activity in antitrust. But at 90%, like that's almost impossible.
Ugh.
And I think it would help this country a lot. I think it would help small business a lot. I mean, this is really the problem. Like, no one likes giving Amazon money, but no one has any choice.
Yeah, because they're the main one that you shop off of.
It's even worse now. Like, even if you don't want to shop on Amazon, like brick and mortar stores have stopped carrying the same variation of products because they can't sell them, and they just end up with dead stock. And then they sell them on Amazon and lose 30% of the price to Amazon. It's just a mess. And by all accounts, like Elon Musk is kooky, right? Does some silly things, mostly kooky, but seemingly well-intentioned. Jeff Bezos is not any of those things. Yeah.
Fair. Why did Bezos get into launching rockets?
Because Elon did.
So he just wanted to
Same reason he paid way too much money for like the preamble to the Lord of the Rings so that he could make the Rings of Power badly. Yeah.
He's a nerd with power and money.
He's a nerd with a giant ego.
Listen, we all grow up, and when we get a little money, we do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't mind the rocket thing. Like, if that's all he was doing, fine. But like, someone's leaked some internal documents about decisions they've made at Amazon and how they basically wrote off a certain percentage of workman comp's claims because they were making more money with them being productive and then losing them after a certain amount of time to workman's comp. Like, he's going to look really bad in a while. It's going to happen. It's
I thought they were having problems for a while, Amazon, because they couldn't hire anybody. I think they're still having that issue.
Well, no one can hire anybody.
Yeah. It's because most people don't want to work at this point.
Yeah, they got used to free money, which,
Yeah.
is cool
I
for
never
a
got
while.
used to that.
He hasn't texted me back.
It wasn't free for me. I had to pay it all back.
He might have thrown his phone through the window.
That is a chance.
It could be. Or what are the snakes in Cambodia? Do they have cobras? Is it being eaten by a cobra?
No, I have no clue what they have in Cuba. Blue
Okay,
king cobra,
so yeah. Oh, he's texting me back right now. I can see
Is
the
it?
little moving dots.
Is it as bad as Black Mamba? Black Mamba, that's what you're calling it now?
I have it all installed and ready to roll. Oh, I thought I already had it.
I thought you were right. Like he suggested it.
But he said the link goes nowhere.
The link goes nowhere. No,
You said it's Google Meets?
Yeah, it's Google Meets.
we're still in the call.
Yeah, we're open. It was an invite.
Do you have a message ID I can send him?
It just says High Sierra Cigars on it. Casey's gonna look though. He's got this.
Casey's doing things.
Please hold. While your
Yeah,
party's
so I
being
managed
reached.
to. I feel kind of bad. I thought I was going to get the worst of it, and the manager today got pretty beat up. So for all of us to have 2 days off, all the managers have 2 days off. I told them we could do 2 days off, but every manager had to work a shift all by themselves, like open to close. So I did it yesterday, and it was pretty brutal. It wants a code. So it was pretty brutal. I spent the whole day bussing tables and playing host. Like, that was my whole day. And the guy today did like 30 more covers than I did yesterday.
The guy today did 30 more covers.
Yeah,
but
and
his
then-
were early on, right?
Well, a little bit. I mean, but still. And then the other manager has to do her day tomorrow. And then Christmas, I don't know how that's going to go. It's going to be quieter, so it should be easier on Christmas. But same thing. We're all running our own shift, but it's short shifts. So one manager is doing 4 hours in the morning, one manager is doing 4 hours in the afternoon, and then I'm doing 4 hours in the evening.
Okay, so but y'all managed to get 2 days off at least,
And then a fair portion of Christmas Day.
so you're not killing yourselves. Try settings. Oh no,
I think that's the code.
up top.
The meeting code. Yeah, KZT.
EJH.
Any of these lowercase?
All lowercase. KZT.
Wait, hold on. I got to redo it because it's all lowercase. K.
ZT dash EJPR dash ZQB.
Hold on, wait. What was the last one? ZQB?
ZQB.
Let's see.
Wait,
let's see.
oh, got
I'm
it.
going
It
to-
auto-corrected all of it.
All right. Christian says, I'm going to my small businesses, liquor store in the morning. They're apparently bringing a bunch of allocated stuff that they are going to open up for sale at 10 a.m. Nice.
Sweet. Would you please keep an eye out for a Russell's 15 for me?
And a George T. Stag.
That's going to be harder to get.
You never know. They can
All right,
have
what
it.
were those codes again?
KZT dash
Hold on, wait. I have to it's trying to autocorrect it. It was hot lazy ZQB. That's what it became. KZT.
EJPR ZQB.
All right, I have it.
Dashes in the middle of the list.
Yep.
Let's see if this one works. We'll get Cambodia back in.
Cambodia.
Yeah, Cambodia.
Christian's like, I'm going to steal that code and get in.
Yeah, you can. Pop in. Why not?
Wouldn't be
Watch, we'll get everybody else too.
just cross them together. So
Just a bunch of people hop on.
It's a little small window for the cross.
There was like 7 at one point on.
I do want a George T. I have some hope of the 2 stores that I have, I'm part of the allocation group.
Oh, these two up here.
No, one up here and one in Reno.
Okay.
Safeway stuff is already gone. I missed that E.H. Taylor barrel proof, which I would have really liked, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Dude, I finished that kosher rye. That's my favorite of the bunch. I'm glad that's my bottle.
I haven't finished any of them. Look at that. See? Not an alcoholic.
I don't really want to finish the other 2.
Government issued. Oh, I came up. I was goofing around on my computer. And I was thinking of different things I could make into coasters. Some of them were the Army ones. And one of them was government issued problems.
There's action on the screen. Something happened.
He's playing with it.
Why are you doing things?
I'm trying to make it work. For fuck's sake.
What are we reviewing tonight? La Gloria Cubana something or other?
La
Or
Gloria,
Aroma de Cuba.
Aroma de Cuba. Do you not have Cameron in the email? Oh yeah, fair.
I text it to him.
Oh,
That's the link. That's what I've got.
He's not responded to me. This is fun. Technical difficulties. That's what you like, the way we should be approaching it for sure.
He's the reason this isn't working, not us. We're doing everything just fine.
So did I tell you guys that someone hacked my email credentials in that stupid website I'm trying to build?
no.
Spammed, I don't know, 20 or 30,000 emails before the person who I trust caught it, shut it down. So I got him into a little bit of trouble. So I text the developer today and I was like, hey, some pretty serious security problems. We can have some assurances that this is going to be fixed before I turn everything back on. And he's like, what problems? I was like, what do you mean, what problems? It's like, tens of thousands of emails and tens and thousands of fraudulent charges that you... He's like, oh, those. I'm aware of those. I thought you meant other problems. It's like,
Is there more
I
problems?
desperately hope not.
So what's the plan to fix that? Or did he
Well-
not give you one?
The other guy, my host provider, is beefing up security quite a bit.
Okay.
And then the developer is going to hire an independent security guy and then send the report over.
And he's
Well,
gonna
that
take
was
a look
interesting.
At it. I know there was a sound. Admit. I'm trying to reach it.
I can barely get there. Wait, so I have 2 bottle shots on Proofonomics now, for the record. Dose.
Listen. Just because you cheated and got it right, that's.
You guys
Am I there?
both should
Can
have
you hear me?
nailed Yellowstone. Hey, Cameron, we hear a voice.
Yeah, we see you, and it's populated on the screen right now.
Oh, he's back.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah, I
me.
got him.
You can hear us.
This is such a disaster. So, Christian's hat, mid-pro, flex
I
fit.
can't hear
Did we get a
anybody
color
or
preference?
anything, no.
He can't hear us.
Why can't you hear us, Cameron?
Yep, you muted him. I mean, that works too, but do you have to change things in there or no? On the OBS?
This is such a fucking comedy of errors right now.
Hey, this is the first time we've used the Google Meets or whatever this is.
I'll
We need
stay
to
quiet just in case.
We need to get Cameron a better camera and a better microphone.
Well, I mean, I thought he had that one camera.
Just
I thought
one
he was
can,
setting up.
motherfuckers.
Oh,
Yeah.
can you hear me, Cameron?
Free can of beer.
Not yet.
No, free can of beer.
Free can of beer.
I want to ask about that Canon 7D he's got.
Cans and a bird all at the same time. Okay, I'll try to be careful then. If you can see and hear me, I can't see shit though. I can't see you guys at all.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm there. I can hear somebody. And so they're in.
Well, he can hear us now, so you just got to close that little screen. So there we go. Look at that. You can see him. Hey.
Hey,
So, Cameron, whatever happened with
I'm
that
back.
7D?
I still have it. It's,
Yeah, but did you
it went-
find the
Hmm?
utility so you could use it to stream with?
That's what we're trying to get. So Adele just left today to go to Australia, and so some of the stuff that we're trying to figure out is probably better for her to buy it and bring it on a carry-on. Some of the stuff.
Okay.
So just have Kevin send me the specs of what I need, and I'll figure out.
Well, I sent you the specific of what you need for the camera to use it as a streaming device. Is you have to get the Canon web utility, but you have to get Gen 1 to match the camera.
Yeah, because that makes sense. And but yeah, then I also need to get because the thing was I when I was on the road real quick to get the hell out of Mexico before I was gonna get murdered. I left my camera batteries behind.
Why were you going to get murdered in Mexico, Cameron?
That is a good question.
Good question.
But,
Has legal implications and is not outside the statute of limitations. Good question.
No, it's fine. It was no. I opened a hostel for these guys. This asshole named Terry and his wife Bettina and her fucking fuck buddy Felix, who's a lawyer. And so we went down there for 4 months, and I built the most. You can look it up right now. If anybody that's listening, you can go to colive.com and it'll come up. Colive with a Y. So COLYVE.com. And we built the most beautiful fucking hostel, and they just fucked us in the end. And then they literally told us that the lawyer guy was going to arrest us if we didn't get out of there. And my brother, Mark, literally, I called him up and I was like, I don't know what to do. And he was like, you need to get the hell out of there. And he just bought us plane tickets.
Oh,
Dude,
Mark's a rock star.
I feel like it might be similar to how things are in the Philippines. Americans can't own the land. Only Filipinos can. So you have to buy through them.
Aside from whatever business you're talking about, hostels, though they can be extremely profitable, by all accounts, can also go incredibly squirrely, and probably will.
I've had both experiences. Yeah, so obviously the Santa Barbara hostel was just a giant cash cow that I got to live with for 5.5 years.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah, well, that was. Now that's a whole nother story as to how that shit happened.
But this is because they live in such a gray area. You have to babysit.
Here's the thing: I already beat the city. The build department of the city of Santa Barbara. So I was the director. To clarify for anybody that's going to watch this later, I was the director of government affairs as my partnership in the hostel, and so I dealt with all of the build department, with the city council, with the mayor, with complaints from everybody, with lawyers, with architects, with engineers, with all different stuff. I was the one that dealt with all that stuff, and a person who I'm not going to name, that was one of my partners, decided to hook up with another one of my partners and voted me out of my own company then took my position, and within 3 months it was gone.
Wait, this is the plot of Survivor.
Yes.
This is very much the plot to Survivor.
This is where the Survivor got it from.
They had an improperly written operations agreement between the partners.
And then you were voted off the island.
It's the same island you were voted off to.
Well, I mean, I didn't necessarily realize. So how this all started was Lane actually sold me his partner.
I was not voted off the island.
No.
I looked at everyone on the island and I was like, listen, I'm done.
Fuck this island.
Yeah.
Fuck this island.
I don't want to be trapped on this island.
I'm
with
gonna
you
go
guys.
start my own island with strippers.
Okay, so the funniest part about this, I have to say, is that Lane, I'll never forget, we got this really bad review on Booking.com, and at that time, Lane had hit me up, and I was living in a motorhome, and this is so insane.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I went to go sell Lane my golf clubs because I was trying to make some money, and Lane was like, yeah, I don't want your fucking golf clubs, but what I could use is you to come down and, start working at the hostel that Scott and I are going to open. And I was like, okay. So I went down, and then a month in, there's this Booking.com review. And so we have this guy. Should I name him or no? The guy, the painter that was there.
Yeah, I mean, let's just call him the painter. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with defamation generally, right? The truth cannot defame. So if you're being factually accurate, you're not actually committing defamation in any way. However, it's a substantial gray area where
for real.
Fact becomes opinion.
This isn't fucking Hogwarts. Just say the fucking name.
Yeah.
So there's this guy. We're gonna call him Marky Mark. That's what we'll call him. Not because my brother's name's Mark, but because it's close to this guy's actual name. We'll call him Marky Mark.
That's right, and the Funky Bunch that kicked him off the island.
And so this guy is there, and I'm there with him. And at the time, I'm just doing whatever Lane needs me to do. He paid me $196 to work for 1 month every fucking day. Lane is very generous. Very generous man.
Hold on. I'm pretty sure I gave you a place to live, and I fed you.
Well, no,
pretty
you
generous,
just
you
gave
know?
me a place to park my motorhome.
Well, but that's what you wanted. You could have had a room in the hostel, and you're like, I'm gonna live in the motorhome in the back.
Well, because it would take money out of your pocket. That's the reason why. It was like I didn't want to take money out of your pocket. It was like it made more sense for me to live in the motorhome because if one of those rooms is worth as much as they are, which we all know what they're worth now. But anyway, so there's this
Plus,
guy.
I think I offered to pay you more, and you were like, no, let me prove my worth first. You did. You said
I
something
did.
very
I
Cameron-like.
did. Yeah, I did say that. That is true. And to be fair, Lane was extremely generous, and he sold me his partnership for a very fair price. I will
sold it
say
to you
that.
for exactly what I was into the business for.
Yep. Yeah, you didn't mark it up or anything. You gave me the opportunity of a fucking lifetime, mate. And so this guy Marky Mark is there, and I'm there painting walls with him. And there's these like Polish chicks that are there, and this dude is like ruthlessly hitting on them, and I'm like, ooh, this is not good. And I have for me, I'm covered as far. I had a girlfriend at the time. I wasn't trying to hit up on any chicks or anything. And this guy's like trying. I heard him just say that he was the owner of the business and whatever. So there ends up this fucking Booking.com review where it talks about how the only reason that they opened this place was because they wanted to fucking hook up with hot chicks, and that was it. And so Lane at first thought that was somebody talking about him, which was not
really
true.
wasn't my speed there.
That's also true, but I mean, it was about the review. I remember the moment where you were like, "Fuck this."
No. But I mean,
Scott,
like, the thing why it bothered me so much is because, like, I basically showed up and did shit and left.
Yep.
Like, I showed up and I worked and I painted and I, like, did whatever needed to be done. And then I ran the laundry over to that whatever random service. And then I was there for like 10 to 12 hours and then I bailed.
So was Marky Mark had a room there or something too?
No, he lived in the De La Vina house, actually, ironically. The other one that we almost took over. Marky Mark was he was actually, ironically, a very, very famous guitar player in a band that I will not name, but very famous in the mid '90s.
So what you're saying is you'll name it later.
If you really want to see a fall from grace, mate, that's pretty much it.
So you fucked over Jared Little twice?
Their favorite story is me throwing Jared Leto out of the bar in front of Cameron Diaz.
Good story.
Yeah. Dude, they should hear the
even know who she
burrito
was.
story, bro. The burrito story is the best. That's my favorite story.
The burrito story?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. So this is
It's
we're in
literally
San Luis Obispo.
the whole thing is summed up in one line.
I have to give the setup here.
Okay.
So we're living in San Luis Obispo, Lane and I, and we're making this movie called Phytography. Television series, episodic television series. I shot 280 hours of footage myself, personally, for that. But we got locked up in contracts. There was all kinds of problems with why it didn't get released. But we're
Also,
at this burrito joint called, what was the name? I can't remember the name.
Alberto's, TA's.
Tia, and it's not there anymore.
No.
But we're there with our buddy Jeannot, who is like, Jeannot is literally like a big, beautiful Polynesian man who somehow teleported from the year 1546 to here.
All right,
and is a Baroque cellist.
I'm going to step in and give this some reference. He's a 6'3", 320-pound Tahitian man who refuses to drive, takes the train everywhere, wears $1,000 alligator shoes, and plays a cello that's probably worth as much as your house.
Okay, so you've talked about this guy before. I
Yes.
remember this.
Yes. Remember we talked about
Jeannot is a very special human.
He's also one of the most incredible people I've ever met. Like, he's just a really cool person, but you have to get past some things.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like all of us. We're all kind of that way. That's why we all ended up having the front porch down on the Toro Street house,
With Jeannot, Jeannot exudes a certain arrogance that isn't really there when you start talking to him, but if you were just to walk up to him, like...
You'd think he was an arrogant prick, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's the most humble dude you'll ever meet, but he just comes off as arrogant as fucking hell.
Sounds like my first sergeant, Alawa.
His only fault is that he plays the cello, but
he plays many instruments. But so we're here. And so
the three of us are in TAs.
Yeah, you have to think about this. So San Luis Obispo is a college town.
Yes.
And it's it's one of those debaucherous college towns. It's not just it's quite wild. And it's late at night. We're there. you have a professional cellist that's a 6'3" Tahitian man, basically, and you have Lane, who is Lane, and you have me, who is me. And we're there, it's packed, completely packed. And we sit down, and this girl, I don't know what the fuck was her problem, but she started fucking with Lane, and both Genoa and I looked at each other and we're like, oh, this is not gonna go. We've been out drinking all night. I'm like, this is not gonna go well.
Excellent.
And Lane takes a bite of his burrito, dude. It looked just like this. He was like, and he takes a bite, and then she keeps talking, and he was like, you're either drunk or completely retarded, or both. I don't fucking care. Get the fuck away from me. And it was
sound like something he would say.
And then her boyfriend comes in, and he's like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm really sorry. She does this all the time. And you're either drunk or completely retarded, or both. It was fucking, the whole restaurant went silent, man. It was fucking hilarious.
So I was not prepared for how well that carried over everyone else's voice for the entire building.
Yeah, dude, I remember that too.
I mean,
the thing was she had already kind of, because she was yelling, because basically Jeannot's seat was going to be at this table, and she took the table from Jeannot.
Oh, yeah.
And we were all going to, that's the reason why this all happened. Because we already had the table. We literally had a burrito sitting on the fucking table, and she took it. Like, she went and sat in the fucking place. And so Lane's just like, yeah, nah, I'm fucking not having this. And but she had already been mouthing off at Lane so loud, and she had one of those like Kamala Harris, like fucking fucking voices.
oh,
It just carries over the crowd just for it, and just like.
You know, that could be one of the reasons why you don't like her.
Could be.
No, that's
Flashbacks.
also true. Maybe it is you.
So
It's,
PTSD.
but
I think we just got through it. I think we just got through this together. It's therapy for Lane.
don't
Now
get
we
me
know
wrong,
why he doesn't
Lane.
like Kamala Harris.
I like the Jared Leto story. Honestly, my favorite is when the cops showed up about the kidnapping.
Oh, my God.
Holden. Oh,
He was
shit.
there. Cameron was there. Cameron
I
can-
was the
That's
reason it happened.
Yeah,
Cameron-
weren't you the kidnappee?
No, that was Chad.
Oh yeah, Chad was
But
the kidnappee.
Cameron can verify every bit of that story, except for the last bit, which might be my favorite part.
That's my favorite story. I don't care what anyone says.
Dude. All right, so do you think the people want to hear it, or do we want to
course
keep
they
that
do.
for a later episode?
I mean, get after it, man. We got time. Oh, this story is like a 20-minute story front to back.
Okay. Oh, dude, this is so fucking funny. So Holdren comes down, and if you ever, I guess Holdren can't afford to sue me for defamation.
I mean, yeah.
What,
Dude,
off
he's
the-
gonna
off
hate
the
you for
$100
saying that. I
of his
love you,
country
Chad,
music
dude. I love
concert?
you,
Come
Holdren.
on.
You're a fucking cool guy. He is a really cool guy. I'm just fucking with him. But so he comes down to San Luis Obispo. I was running the movie theaters at the time, the Fremont Mission and Downtown Center Cinemas.
Yeah, he came down with
And-
me. I was
Yeah.
coming down. He's like, "Can I come?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't care."
This
Turns
segment is
out I-
sponsored by
Turns out I cared.
Cambodia.
Yeah.
This segment is sponsored by Cambodia.
Cambodia Light.
So they come down, and it's like the fucking Mardi Gras weekend, which used to be a thing in San Luis Obispo before the draconian police cracked down on it. And we're sitting at our house. Lane was there living, Jeannot, myself, and this.
I wasn't
crazy...
down there yet. I hadn't moved down yet.
Oh, yeah, this was
He
before you
came
moved
down
Okay.
with me.
Yeah. Okay, so sorry, I got that confused because we had. But so Jeannot and myself, so Jeannot, the Tahitian guy, and the professional cellist, and Corey, who is like one of the surliest human beings you will like. He's a pirate. Like if you ever thought you'd met a pirate,
He
it's
legitimately
Corey.
is a pirate.
No joke, dude.
I want to preface this with saying, outside of me in this group and Corey, I don't know Corey's talent. When sober, both Cameron and Chad are outstanding singers.
Only sober. Got it.
Well,
I'm pretty good when I'm drunk still, but
when you can read the paper.
so let's get to that in a second. So we're
Dyslexia kicks in hard with
sitting at-
alcohol.
we're sitting at the Toro house, right? And it's like we've all been drinking all day, and I can't remember if it was a Super Bowl or something. There was some reason why we were all drinking all day, and then Holdren, he's a hilarious drunk, and he's very confident, and so he says he's like. He knows about this karaoke night, this place that's used to be called Mother's. Now I think it was called Motav. God knows what it's called.
It was Motav. I want to know how he found it because I certainly didn't tell him. I'm not volunteering karaoke information to Chad.
Listen, you only sing in your car. We found this out. There's going to be karaoke night in there.
Dude, you're going to have to secretly do that, Kevin. I will help you from here. I will find a way.
I told you.
But so we're sitting there, and Holdren's like, we're like, well, let's all go downtown. It's Mardi Gras, and we're going. And Holdren's like, as we're walking, I don't even remember how he brought it up, but he was like, I'll bet you that I can beat you as a singer at karaoke tonight. And I was like, you can't. What are you gonna bet? You don't have any money. And he was like, an unanswered punch to the face. And I was like, I don't think that's a really good idea, man.
It's a great
like,
idea.
I really don't think that's a good idea, dude. I'm not the best fighter that used to be professional that retired, but I am a professional fighter that retired. So, it's like, at the time I was like, all right. So we get in there, and by the time we got to Mother's, I was already so fucking drunk that we go inside, and I'm like, shit, I'm just gonna have to let Chad punch me in the fucking face. Like that's like I can't even read the fucking paper. So Holdren goes up, and he immediately goes for the hardest fucking song that you can do on karaoke ever.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna pipe in here because I don't know that you're going to be. This is like that situation on Parks and Rec where he's like, "Give me all the steak and eggs in the building," and the guy turns around and he's like, "Hold on, wait." What I think you heard was, "Give me a lot of steak and eggs." And what I said was, give me all the steak and eggs in the building. When I say Chad didn't hit a fucking note, he did not hit a fucking note.
Is Chad the one that did he's the nipple crippler, right?
Yes, he's the dude that
The nipple crippler. Dude, he used to run up and do this shit where he would fucking run out of the bathroom and fucking give you naked hugs, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what?
Dude, he's
naked hug.
I had a friend like that. His name's Eddie.
They got the story where for the very last time he ever decided to fucking twist one of my nipples, and my hand came out of my pocket and lifted up under his rib and just dropped him.
Well, I mean, it sounds about like what happened later in this story that we're telling right now.
Yeah, except I didn't draw blood or involve doctors.
This last one did.
I mean, that's... So we go in, and I'm like, he signs up for the hardest country song you can ever do, which is "Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up." It's like a rap song.
Yeah,
country.
I know that
like,
song.
I mean, it's such a... and I'm like... I looked at him, and I was like, really? And he was like, I'm gonna win, dude. I'm gonna win. He's like,
He's unreasonably confident.
And so then I'm like looking at the book, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't fucking read.
Yeah.
I'm fucking hammered. All right, well, whatever. Holdren can punch me in the face.
Just
That's
choose
fine.
the song you know.
And whatever. It's like it's not like he's gonna do any damage. So then he proceeds to get up on the stage and stumble around and is like, and he almost falls off the stage, and he almost fell off the front of the stage, and they cut the song, and they like kicked him off stage.
They're like, nope.
Nope. And then I had already been hanging. I was standing over by Lane and Jeannot, and I think Jeannot, I can't remember which one of you, it was either you or Jeannot, was like, well, I guess you won. And I was like, fuck. I was like, fuck. And then Holdren comes in, and for whatever reason, he decides that he's still won. And I don't know. And I'm like, I'm trying to get my way out of this from hitting Holdren in the face, however I possibly can. And he's like, you didn't even get up, so I won by default. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude, I won because you couldn't even finish the fucking song. They kicked you off stage. And he's like, you want to go outside? And I was like, yeah, all right, let's do it.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to take over for a minute.
Okay, yeah, take over, please.
Because now it's me and Jeannot and Corey sitting at the bar at Mother's. And we didn't realize for a couple of minutes that Cameron and Chad had gone outside. So we're just sitting there drinking our beers, talking, and Jeannot, you know, is the first one to notice. He's like, "Where are Cameron and Chad?" Like, I don't actually know. Are they outside smoking? And I think Corey was like, "Well, they're outside. I don't know if they're smoking." Like, oh wait, are they? Like, are they treating this as a real bet?
Yeah.
So
I was trying everything I could to make it not a real bet and try to like back
bet's
out
a
of
bet.
it, dude. I
we
was
walk
really trying.
outside and turn to the right and past the crowd up on the corner. I'll let you take it from impact, but turn the crowd like past it. We turn to the right and we're like, oh, there they are, and somehow Chad like. They're sort of jaw-jacking, and Jeannot's concerned. And I'm like, no, they're friends. Like, it's not gonna. And in the time it took me to not finish that sentence, Chad's hand ended up on Cameron's throat, and then Chad ended up on the ground.
All right, take over.
So I was standing there with my hands in my pocket trying to figure out how to defuse this situation.
The lane tactic, hands in
I,
pocket.
I honestly was trying to defuse the situation, but Holdren, when he goes on a tear, man, he just fucking starts going off, and he's like, "I'll fucking kick your ass, motherfucker!" And I'm like, and I'm just thinking to myself in my head, I'm like, dude, you've never been in a fight in your entire life. I've literally fought for you on at least 80 occasions. Like, you get yourself into something and I have to get you out of it. And I'm just like watching him talk. And then he just decides, I guess, I don't remember this part. So this is the thing I don't remember. All I know is that I'm standing looking at a stone wall with my fists up, and there's nobody in front of me. And so then I look around, and then there's Holdren on the ground.
Now wait, hold on.
And I'm like,
We need to frame this a little bit. Okay. The histrionics that Holdren is capable of are beyond anyone I've ever met.
Fair.
So this is the progression. Holdren on the ground. The first thing that happens, you know Homer Simpson's run where his shoulders are like pinned and he runs around in a circle?
Yes.
So this happened a couple of times. Then he jumps to his knees in slow motion, and his hand, it's like it should have been in a movie. His palm goes to his eye like this, and he looks at it, and it's just red because he's just bleeding from his eye. And he fucking jumps to his feet, and I've never seen it in real life. I've never seen it in live action. Like, his head tilts back, and this scream comes out of his mouth, and the Ren and Stimpy fucking tongue starts spitting out of his mouth. Okay.
he goes, "You fucking hit me." and I was like, yeah. And then he just jumps up on his feet, dude.
Wait,
And we have these.
are you going to go through the dress? Because you have to understand, we're in San Luis Obispo in the mid-2000s. Literally everyone is dressed in flip-flops, jeans, and a t-shirt. Mm-hmm. Except Jeannot, who's probably wearing a $2,000 like wool coat, and Chad. and fucking Chad.
Shoes that are worth $1,000.
Yes.
And then there's you. And then there's me, who dresses like me. And then there's Holdren, who has python skin fucking cowboy boots on.
Not joking. Like,
Dude,
painted on
he literally
black
runs
Wranglers.
like this.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like a fucking cartoon, bro. He was just like...
Dude, the high knees with the legs out, like...
and like the full fucking... He looked like he was rave dancing while he was running. And then fucking what happens is we're all trying to chase him because we're all like, oh shit, he's going to get himself into real trouble. And I'm feeling horrible. I'm like, oh god, I fucking hit Chad. Jesus. You know? You know, that should never happen. Like,
There's
you know,
no
that's like
reason
it's
for
like
that.
it's like grabbing a baby and punching it, bro. Like, no, that's just stupid. Like, why did I do that? So I'm running after him, and Corey, so we're all running after him, and Holdren's quite a way in front of us, mate. And then
dude,
he's like,
separated.
he goes like this. He's like, boop, 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 boop.
That fucker
And then he
can run in boots.
Dude, he's goddamn good at running boots. So he just goes boop, 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 and then he just falls into
the bush in front of the Lotus dealership.
Yeah.
Can't make that up.
Right in front of the fucking Lotus dealership.
All
dude.
right.
And so Corey, okay, so yeah, now the Corey thing gets involved.
Oh, dude, Corey starts taking it personally. And he's just randomly like, I will murder him.
Well, no, so what happens is that Corey went to help him out of the bush.
Oh, yeah.
And then Holdren goes and he's like, I'll fucking kick your ass, man. And Corey's just looking at him. He's like, I'll fucking murder you, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
and I'm like, dude. So now I'm in between the person that I just punched in the face and another person. And I'm like, no, Corey, do not kill him, please.
so what
You take it
happens
from here.
next is a 30 to 40 minute progression of chat. Like, we get him about 20 steps, and then he just randomly falls to his knees and starts crying and babbling on about a photo shoot or fucking some such nonsense. We are, when I say 40 minutes, we are no more than 6 blocks from the house.
He's choking on his beer right now.
This is all true. This all actually happened, dude. It's fucking hilarious.
So we're trying to drag his ass back to literally where we're staying. And he just, I mean, it must have happened 6 or 8 times where he just randomly drops to his knees and starts crying and just babbling.
Finally, we end up carrying him into the house.
Yeah, we finally get him home. And we're like, home.
Hey,
Nope.
fuck. So Corey wants to still kill him.
Yeah.
And so I take Corey, Lane and me, the two adults in the room apparently. We
So
decide
Lane.
I'm gonna take Corey into the backyard, and he's gonna take Chad and with Jeannot, and they're gonna have him over there. So I go into the backyard with Corey, and he's just sitting there, and he's just like, I'm gonna fucking kill that motherfucker, dude. Like, how the fuck would he fucking with me and you fucking bullshit? And I'm like, dude, Corey, it's all right, dude. I already punched him in the face. He doesn't need any more. Like, trust me, he's all right. It's fine. And he was like, no, man, fuck that. Nobody talks to me like that shit. That's fucking bullshit, mate.
So while this is happening, I have Chad in the front room with Jeannot. Jeannot finally got tired of him. And, like, they disappeared. I think what happened is Jeannot went into his room and left Chad somewhere else. I don't know where. This is how Chad got free. So
This is how Chad got free.
the cherries and berries show up outside the front house. I see him through the curtains, and I'm like, okay. And I don't remember who looked at me. Someone's like, I'm gonna talk to the cops, and I'm like, everybody in the fucking back. I am talking to the cops,
dude. So hold on, I keep going, Lane, but I'm gonna go because I have to take a piss real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So everyone in the back, I am talking to the cops. And I am ready for a lot of things, right? Noise ordinance, fight, like drunk in public, all these things I'm good with. And I answer the door. I'm gonna have to wait for him to get back because he needs this section.
This is the part.
Yeah.
This is the part that makes the fucking story amazing.
I don't think I've ever heard this
Have you
story.
not heard
No.
the
No, I
kidnapping story?
haven't.
Oh my God,
This
dude.
is
The
This is
kidnapping
entertaining
story
so
is
far.
like fucking top 10. I'm telling you.
Oh my God, dude, these stories, like the shit that we got into at San Luis Obispo is so out of pocket. Like it's one of those towns you need to be prepared for. Probably not anymore.
Well,
but
I mean,
then
it's a college bar town, so I mean, it makes sense that you have to be prepared
it's a
to be in it.
college bar town in California. The only one that trumped it at this time, I think, was San Diego State, and it's a marginable. Which one was worse?
yeah. Chico had been clamped down pretty hard on at this point.
Yeah, like it was San Diego State and SLO. Those are the 2 college towns in this time frame where you were like, those are fucking party towns.
Yeah. And we just took shots. San Luis Obispo was about hard alcohol and shots.
No, I would have been perfect there
Yeah.
if I was around back then. You were how old at this point?
It was after undergrad because I had to come back and then Cameron moved down there. So
Mid-20s.
All right, boys. So where are we? I missed that whole part. Sorry.
no.
We
So I
stopped.
stopped. We were just framing San Luis Obispo a little bit. So cops are at the door. I'm about to open the door. Everyone has disappeared. So far as I know, there's no one else in the front room but me. I am prepared for a lot of things to come out of this cop's mouth. And I open the door. And the cop says, "How are you tonight, sir?" And I said, "I'm good. What can I do for you, officer?" And he goes, "Well, We have a report of a kidnapping.
This is fucking ridiculous. This actually all happened. I can't fucking believe it.
Not in any way prepared for that word to come out of his mouth. Now, mind you, it didn't matter. I didn't need to respond because there was an intervening act. And that intervening act was a bloody fucking mess of a Holdren over my right shoulder. I felt this presence here. I should say at one point, like before I answered the door, Holdren had picked up a knife and he's like, I'll deal with this. And I'm like, motherfucker, get in the back.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
No, dude, he picked up a fucking, like a chef's knife, like a 10-incher. I'm like, what are you doing?
You know, every time you're telling the story, he takes a drink and almost chokes on it.
So, we have a report of a kidnapping. Presence right here.
Chad.
And I look over and I see Holdren bleeding, not crying, which was rare at this particular instance. And I look back at the officer and I say, Officer, the kidnapped the officer. Do y'all mind if I sit on the porch while you work this out? And he went, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So,
And then what happened next was I was not there for what happened next.
so I'll take it from here. So I'm in the back with Corey, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking murder this motherfucker," blah blah. And I'm like, "Dude, calm down. It's all right. I already hit him. You don't have to hit him again. You hit him hard enough. I'll fucking murder that motherfucker." And then all of a sudden, I hear from behind me. I hear, and I'm like, I turn around, and there's a police officer there with his clipboard, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And he's like, okay, I've had a long night. I honestly, it's Mardi Gras. I don't want to fuck around with this. So, which one of you is Chad? And Corey's like, fuck you, pig. You fucking piece. And I'm like, dude. And he's literally, the cop is like, dude, you better control your friend. And I was like, Corey. You got it. Like, okay. I was like, neither of us are Chad. And he's like, I'm done with this. Like, I'm just gonna. And I was like, no. I think I know what you need to know. And he's like, what's that? And I'm like, Chad's in there. He has his eyes split open, and I'm Cameron, and I'm the one who punched him in the face. And the guy just laughs, and he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, he's Chad. I'm Cameron. I punched him in the face. And he was like, okay, well, you stay out here, and I'll go in there. And then I wasn't in there for the rest of it, so I do know what happened afterward. But Lane, probably better for you to tell that part.
I wasn't there for that either. That became a Chad and Jeannot situation.
Oh, so yeah, so I do know. I do know from, and someday we'll have Jeannot on the podcast as well, I'm sure, and we can go through the story again and give you more details. But basically, what happens is they go up and they talk to Jeannot is now babysitting Chad, and they put Chad in a cab to go to the hospital to get stitches because he got 6 stitches over his eye. I didn't even mean to fucking hit the guy. I have a
If he
I have
learned
an
to dodge, he
instinct.
would have been good.
Also, 6 stitches, not a huge number.
Not that bad.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been more. You know, it was enough. And he still remembers the last time I saw him. He told my girlfriend, her name's Adele. She's from Australia. he told her the whole story from his perspective as well. And it'd be funny to have him come and tell his perspective.
So,
Dude,
fast
it would
forward.
be ridiculous.
Jeannot takes Chad to the doctor for the stitches, right? For a very long time. We thought there was a lot of people in the emergency room or something because it took forever. Turns out that was not the reason it took forever. They come back, and Jeannot is completely fed up. Like, has had enough. Now, Chad is still babbling on about his fucking country fucking album and the cover shot and the photo shoot and nonsense. And Jeannot, I don't remember like what he said to get Chad to be quiet. And he's like, listen, at one point, the doctor looked at Chad because he was crying so uncontrollably and said, I just had a 7-year-old girl in here with a broken arm that I had to set, and she cried less than you.
Yep.
So,
Oh, dude.
that is not the end of the story, though. It's the end of the story in San Luis Obispo. So everyone gets whatever. Like, there's some beers. Corey doesn't get taken to the fucking Hooskow because he's being an idiot. Next day, we fucking vacate San Luis Obispo. I get Chad back to Tahoe.
Now there's 14 Mexicans in the
later,
team up.
I am sitting at a bar in Harris. I'm sitting at Cal Bar in Harris. And there's a girl who's like the third in the trio of the Chad, Cameron, and Nick, right? I'm sitting at a bar, not doing anything. I just gotten off work. And Nick walks up. Cameron's in San Luis Obispo. God knows where fucking Chad is. Nick walks up, who I kind of know, but not really. And she fucking hits me. And I look, I'm like, what the fuck was that about? I'm like, everything okay, Nick? And she goes, no. How the fuck could you and Cameron let Chad get beat up by 40 Mexicans? It's like,
Dude, this all actually happened. It's true. He made up a whole story that basically that Lane and I just sat by and watched him try to fight valiantly against like 40 Mexicans, and we didn't do anything.
I
And
didn't.
I'm like,
You know
well,
what? I couldn't even tell her the story. I was like, I can't. I just can't. Like,
just like, yeah,
didn't
whatever,
happen.
man.
Like-
So the next time I came back to Tahoe, was rare. I came back to Tahoe, and everybody's come up to me and they're like, "I can't believe you would do that to Chad. That you would just leave him to get beat up by all these Mexicans." And I was like, "I fucking punched him in the face." that's like
That's
and
what
they're like-
happened.
and they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And they were like, I can't believe you did that to Chad. I'm like, neither can I. I can't believe I did it either. Jägermeister is a hell of a drug.
Oh my god.
You know, like, but so, dude, there's a pre-story to that one, which we'll have to do on another podcast.
Yes,
when Chad
I will
came
tell you
down.
the moral of the pre-story. The overarching theme of this is that Cameron cannot be anywhere near San Luis Obispo during Mardi Gras.
And I should probably not drink Jaeger.
Yeah.
those two facts. But it is pretty funny that I was wanted and I ended up helping the what's the name? Ian Parkinson. I got him elected sheriff.
Yeah.
He didn't even know that I. Oh, dude, that's way past the statute of limitations. So fuck
Yeah,
all
we're-
y'all.
We're good. Yeah, I have, dude. Okay. So, I will say, to sum this up, and I know we've been picking on Chad a lot, and
I love that guy.
It's Chad.
I love him. I love him to death. Man.
But
I
he's
think I've met him
Chad-
once.
is such a spectacular liar that we stopped calling them lies. I believe it was me that coined the term, Chad and his woven tale of wonderment.
Yeah, yes. That is true.
Because
is true.
this is not in any way a unique story.
No,
I feel
dude,
like
there's
this
so
happened
many.
regularly.
I can literally tell, like, we could do an entire podcast just off of. Sorry, I have to plug this in because it's dying. But we could literally do an entire podcast just based off of Holdrenisms. That's what I call it. It's Holdrenisms.
An entire
Like,
series.
dude, the thing about Chad that really blows my mind is like that dude should be famous. Like he is fucking rad. He's really cool. He's a really interesting person. He's very strange and
Yes, and
very
he has
talented.
he 100%
he has
has
all
a
of the
story
things.
that should be. You're sideways again, Bowman.
I know
He
it
has a
has to be 'cause
story. Oh, because it's yeah.
I have to plug it in.
Like
Yeah,
his
sorry.
story sounds like fucking Charlie Sheen or fucking the dude that was the
Like
other
old school
FBI
Robert
agent
Downey
in
Jr.?
Point Break. Yeah. Like the only people that this amount of ludicrous could happen to is someone that's famous and has so much money it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and Holdren always acted like he had all the money and it doesn't matter, which is awesome. I mean, to be fair, like Holdren is probably the most interesting character that I've met in person, because he's just and now he's happy where he's at. The last time I saw him, he's apparently happy where he's at. But to me, he was larger than life, man. He is like he's
You
like
introduced him to me as being larger than life.
He was. He
Yeah.
is. You know, I mean, that's just what it is. What do you think, Casey? You don't say much.
But the Chad,
I mean,
Yeah,
I think
give
we
us
sort
a
of
Chad
commandeered
story.
this podcast.
the Chad is a very interesting person. Cries a little too much,
I don't know if I met him now.
and that country twang that he tries to pull off kills me every time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that's true.
Chad,
It's like he has a
needs
great voice. Just
dialect
why do you
coach.
put the twang on it? You know, like just sing.
Just sing.
You're a really
Yeah.
good singer.
But
Just sing the way you
he
sing.
tries to do this like Merle Haggard impression, and it doesn't work every time.
On a gray ham,
Dude, this guy, like the amount of, he called me one night, right? Middle of the night. It's like,
I don't know why I'm laughing immediately when you just said that.
well, it's like
Any
one-
story
it's
that
like
has to do with this
1:30 in the
guy
morning.
is so spectacular that it's just like
I didn't know
He's
anything
just
about this story. Anything. He calls me and he goes, dude, your fucking brother. And I was like, whoa. Are you guys together?
Adam?
Yeah, Adam. He goes, no. He goes, I went home, but I feel like I need to go back and stand up for myself because fucking he just wronged me. It was like, Chad.
oh, dude,
Chad,
don't do that.
do it.
That's
What you
real
need to
bad
do
idea.
is drink as much alcohol as you can to where you
And
can't
forget.
walk and pass the fuck out.
Yeah, and then
because-
forget that it ever happened.
Nothing about that goes well. And I mean nothing.
I've played poker against Adam, man, and let me tell you something. That dude's on another level. Like as far as like Holdren trying to stand up for himself, God, that is against Adam. Like I mean, Holdren can probably stand up against himself against somebody.
How'd that story go? What was this thing with Adam?
Oh, fucking dude. I'll tell it another time. It's but it ends up with like Chad getting pretty embarrassed, kind of choked out, and then going home.
And by the way, I'd like to take a break for our sponsors. This is sponsored by Cambodia, possibly.
Cambodia Light.
Money. Cambodia Light, the greatest beer, aside from possibly Gansberg.
I
It's
don't
up
know.
to
I feel
the
like
company.
you're boasting too much there. I don't know about the greatest beer.
in
All right.
Cambodia.
Cambodia,
In
probably.
Cambodia.
Yeah, in Cambodia. I'm not saying the
So,
greatest beer in the
Real
world. but-
quick to address actual podcast matters.
Yes.
What's your guys' take on the whiskeys? What's your favorite, Kevin?
It's the middle.
It's the kosher.
It's
It's the
kosher.
kosher.
Yeah, right. It's
for
just
sure.
it's just a different caliber of whiskey.
I love the kick of the Frey Ranch, but the kosher is smooth and it has those special notes that you're not going to get in any other rye.
And then
It destroys the high.
what
West.
are we reviewing
Cigar wise.
for later in the week?
The La Aroma de Cuba.
Okay. Sorry, Cameron. I just want to make sure like that got in there somewhere.
No, it's good. It's a good thing because I was the one that was
Casey's
trying to push
smoking.
sponsors. So
Dude, we need to find a way to get you cigars and whiskey samples.
yeah, I mean I can get whiskey here anyway, and I can get some pretty good shit here, and I can drink it
Yeah.
on camera with you guys. Yeah, that's fine. And cigars though, yeah, that's definitely not. That's probably not going to happen. But that's all right.
Out there?
There's no cigar shop out here.
Oh, that's
And
sad.
also, you know, I will say this, and just so the audience knows, I am the biggest fan of cigars in the history of man. But I was a heavy cigarette smoker for 10 and a half years. I was smoking a pack and a half a day, and it almost killed me. So I have to be
Christian.
very. I
Marlboro
have to be very
menthol
careful.
lights. What was it? Dusty
Yeah,
jean
Marlboro.
jacket.
It was Marlboro menthol lights. That was, and then later it became.
You get
when I was in
Marlboro Red
Thailand.
100s and then rip the
But
filter off.
how
That's
did
what
you
do.
describe them in the brown box? How did you describe them?
Oh fuck! I'd have to. It's
Something wrapped in a dusty jean jacket.
Well-
I've never forgotten the dusty jean jacket part.
Christian
I
says
know,
we're
man.
a
I haven't
complete
read that
fucking
in so
disaster
long.
Shit show.
Did I tell you that Briscoe recovered the brown box?
Yeah, you told me that.
The original.
So we have the original script and we have photography. We have all the
original.
footage from photography, which we're gonna have to cut into a little mini series of some sort.
Wait, so
Well,
you were
so,
trying to make a
so
movie?
Briscoe and I are already talking about doing that.
So him and I owned a production company.
Yeah, it's called Trigger Switch.
Yeah, like that's what I was doing in Slow. One of the times I was in Slow.
Yeah.
Man, you just
Yeah,
try
it
to
was-
get your hand in everything.
Yeah, listen, I get.
Well, I
blood
was only
fans.
calling
It
him, told him he
it
better
was
get his
Ultimate
ass to
Fighter
San Luis
before
Obispo.
you know,
I was like,
those guys
I-
took it over.
Hold on, what was that? What was that, Cameron?
Oh, I said I was the one that called you and told you better get your ass to San Luis Obispo because I need a fucking producer to be working with me. Like I need somebody to take the work with me, you know.
Yeah.
And then you pulled the trigger. You just changed your whole life and then moved down there and ended up working at the fucking library to make ends meet while we were trying to finish this movie, you know.
Then they got a job at a bar.
We should talk about the library, by the way. That was
Yeah,
the last
we will.
place
The
that I did it.
library, dude, the stories from the bars down there, I'm sure it'll come. You're going to come back, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm. It depends. So right now it's kind of strange. So I was originally booked to come back.
No. I
and
mean, you're going to
do-
come back on the podcast.
Oh yeah. I thought if you guys want me to come, I'll be on every week.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's I'm fine. It's the absolute perfect time for me because it's actually really cold here in Cambodia right now.
Would
It
it,
really
would
is
it
bright
still
and sunny
work
out
for
there, it
you
looks.
if we moved it to our Sunday night? So your Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fine.
cool.
Okay, I'm curious. You said it's cold out there, yet you're wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Cold is relative.
Like, what's the degree out there?
Here, let me look it up real quick. Actually, you can look
Because
it up,
here
Kevin.
It's,
Fuck
it's
you.
probably like
You do
50.
it.
Hey,
You fucking do it.
Christian, did we get a color hat for you?
Do
We have
what?
the size. I
We
don't
have
know
the
if we-
size, yeah.
I don't know if we have a color.
Color. Also, we're going to have gray and brown patches. So if you've got a color and a patch color preference, let me know.
Me? Or
No,
who?
Christian.
Oh,
We could probably
Christian.
get
Okay.
yours.
I
Yours
can,
too.
I
I
can
don't
try
know
and send
Christian.
you
I don't
something
think.
too. I can't imagine that's going to get confiscated.
Do I know Christian?
No, Christian's he came into the shop a couple times.
And now he
Oh.
follows our podcast.
Yeah.
He's
Christian's
on every
cool.
week.
Right
Even
on,
when he's
man.
in Rio.
Yeah, Rio.
Yeah, he logged in from
My
Rio.
name is her name is Rio.
I
That's
think
my Chad
headphones are
impression.
broken.
She dances on the sun.
All right. Cameron, you about good? We got to break this thing down and shoot some reviews.
Yeah, man. So sounds fine to me. And then so do you want to do next week? Are we moving to?
No. We're
What
not going to
day?
do that till February. It's going to happen when Kevin's days off and shift changes.
Oh, okay, cool. So we'll just keep it. We'll keep it 12 p.m. Yeah, and I'll dude. We have. If anybody's watching this podcast, mate, this is just like the littlest tiny tip of the iceberg of what can be talked about between all of us.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with like personal stories, like it's insane. So I've never, thanks for inviting me on to be a part of it. I appreciate you guys a lot. If you want to check me out, you can go to on x.com. You can go to existence voided
Hey, send me, list them off here, but also send me the handles that you want for your socials, and I'll put them in the description.
Perfect, man. Yeah. And then there's that, and then there's my website, which is voidedexistence.com, which is where you can see all of my art and that. And then there's all kinds of other stuff we'll talk about later. But dude, you guys are awesome, and I miss you guys very much. I obviously haven't met you, Kevin. I think I met you once, like forever ago, but I miss the shop.
Yeah. It was in the shop. I know that. I remember you were sitting in the seats on the right-hand side. Second seat from the humidor.
Oh yeah, probably with a fucking giant amount of beer would be my guess.
Probably. It wasn't good beer, but yeah, it was beer.
No, I'm not saying it was good. It was probably Bud Light.
More than likely.
Fuck you, Bud Light.
The gender
But
of
also,
the beers.
I love you, Shane Gillis. I'm sorry.
All right.
I already apologize. I retract. All right, guys.
Cameron, thank you. Christian, thanks for joining us. Everyone else, if you made it this far and you liked what we did, do YouTube things. We'll see you next time.
Like and subscribe.